Well, hey there, I am Jennifer Roskamp, a certified life coach and homeschool mom of 9 who is passionate about helping women just like you embrace the here and now while also being focused on creating the life you actually want. As a midlife mom in her 40s, about to be a mom in my 50s, I've realized that it's so easy to lose yourself in caring for your family, your home, and all the things. Until one day you realize you're not even sure who you are anymore or what you even want in life. So on this podcast, we're going to work on managing yourself well so that you can manage all of the other things and people well too. So let's dive into what it means to manage your home, your time, your family, and yourself well. This is the Intentional Midlife Mom podcast. Well, hey there, it's Monday, and around these parts, that means there is a brand new mantra. I've got a brand new mantra for you today to focus on to start your week off strong and really just to give you a new, very centered, very strategic, and very empowering way to start your week. We have these every Monday here, and basically a mantra, mantras and truths. These are two of my favorite tools as a life coach. And again, mantras are really just a thought focuser. They are an empowering statement really to again, start your Monday off well, but really they're designed to also haul out during the week, maybe multiple times a day sometimes, when you find yourself just needing to regain control of your thoughts. One of the things that I talk about in my coaching program, Accomplished Lifestyle, all the time is we talk about the difference between being in the back seat and being in the driver's seat of your life. And essentially what this means is most people, I will say, spend their lives in the back seat, not even realizing that there is this backseat driver's seat situation that happens. And really what it means to be in the back seat is where you're just kind of along for the ride. It's where you just kind of take it as it comes and you just kind of accept whatever happens as just your reality. And there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. But the driver's seat really is where we say, you know what? I have a lot more say so. I decide. I'm taking back control. And if you think about when you ride in a car and you think about how much control you have when you're in the back seat about where you are going, how much control do you actually have in the destination that you're heading towards or the place you end up? Well, you don't really have a lot of control, right? And if you think about it also in the back seat, the view that you have, your vantage point, isn't really that great either. You can't really see what's ahead of you nearly the same from the back seat as you can from the driver's seat. So that's really kind of the difference. That's kind of a little bit about the back seat. But then if you think about the driver's seat, right? How much control do you have over where you're going, over your destination, and even over the journey that you take to get there? Well, how much control do you have from the driver's seat, right? Well, now you've got a lot more control. There's always going to be pieces and parts that you can't control. I think about the fact that I live in Michigan. And if you live in Michigan or probably anywhere in the north, you know that during the summer season, there is road construction season, right? It's kind of one of the jokes around here in Michigan. Like you've got winter and you've got road construction season. And obviously that's because, well, they've got to fix the roads and do all of that stuff when the weather is good because you can't do that when everything's frozen. But so there will always be elements of your reality, of your life, of your circumstances that you can't control, right? We can't control when there's a detour. We can't control when there's road construction. We can't control some of the events that are actually happening. I call these external circumstances. You can't control those, but what you always can control is your response to them. It's your interpretation of them. It's your thoughts about them. It's what you are telling yourself about these situations. It's the value you are attaching. It's your interpretation really of, is this something positive or is this something negative? And is this something that is going to limit me or is this something that I'm just going to ricochet off of? I love talking about ricocheting. But also if you were to think about what is your view like from the driver's seat, right? Well, you don't have an obstructed view like you do in the back seat. And so you can see how when we talk about life, when we talk about this amazing, beautiful life that you've been given, you can see how spending your time in the driver's seat is going to be much more beneficial to you. And so that's the common language that we have inside my coaching community, Accomplished Lifestyle, all the time, because it is so important to remind ourselves, oh, wait, this is in the back seat, right? I'm in the back seat right now. When we allow limitations to limit us, when we allow circumstances to bring us down, when we allow circumstances and situations and realities to make us feel like we are helpless or we are hopeless, or again, this is just the way that it is. Well, when we start to notice ourselves having conversations like that, that's when we say, okay, backseat riding, not where I need to be. What would it look like for me to get into the driver's seat? How can I take control of this situation? Essentially is what we're doing when we're thinking about being in the driver's seat. But all that to say, mantras are an amazing tool that can help you climb out of the back seat and into the driver's seat. Mantras can do that for you. So what mantra do I have for you today? Here it is. It is, why not today? Why not today? It's a great question to ask yourself. And again, it's one of these questions that I find myself asking coaching clients all the time. Why not today? And so often we're looking, I don't want to necessarily label procrastination. I don't want to necessarily use that label, but it's probably the one that fits the most. There are so many times where we're finding perhaps justifiable, 100% true and 100% justifiable reasons to wait to do something, to say, oh, it'll be better tomorrow, right? I'll try tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll have more energy. Tomorrow it will somehow look different tomorrow or later today. And so my question for my coaching clients so much when I hear them saying, it's almost like we like to wait for a perfect set of circumstances to take action sometimes, a lot of times. But really what we know to be true is taking imperfect action is almost always going to beat sitting and waiting for a better time or a more perfect, what we conclude would be a more perfect way to take action. Taking that imperfect action is almost always going to beat that sitting and waiting, hands down. You're almost always going to come out ahead if you ask yourself, why not today? When you find yourself, here's when you're going to use this mantra. When you find yourself, again, coming up with all the reasons why not to follow through with something. Maybe you decided something simple like, I'm going to make sure that I get to bed on time tonight. I'm going to make sure that I don't sit and get lost in Facebook or Instagram, or instead of watching 2 episodes of my favorite show that I'm in the middle of right now, I'm only going to watch 1, because you've decided that getting to bed on time is the key, and smartly so. Maybe you've discovered that getting to bed on time is the key to getting up on time in the morning, right? So let's just say that that's what you've decided. I'm going to make sure I'm getting to bed on time tonight. Well, when tonight rolls around and you find yourself, oh, just 1 more episode, or I just want to check this out real quick, or whatever it might be, this mantra is one that you will haul out and you will remind yourself, nope, I decided already that tonight was going to be the night that I made sure I got to bed on time. I'm starting that new habit today. So why not today? Ask yourself, why not today? Why not start with that today? Anytime you find yourself stepping away from something that you've been waiting to do or wanting to do, but now that you're kind of up on the starting line, now you're kind of starting to step back a little bit and say, well, maybe not today. Why not today? Ask yourself that. And if you can't come up with a good reason of why not today, which when I ask clients this, they can't come up with a reason why not today. Sometimes they might say something and I might say, okay, that could be true, but still, why not today? Can you still present me with a very good, valid reason why not? And ultimately, you're the one who gets to decide. You're the one who gets to validate those reasons. You're the one who gets to decide, what am I going to listen to? Am I going to listen to my reasoning for why not today? Or am I not going to? Am I just going to say, why not today? And I'm going to say, you know what? Why not today? Let's just do it today. That getting started hurdle is the one that's the hardest. And so the faster you can say, why not today? And say, you know what? It is going to be today. And you take the action today. The faster you get over that starting hurdle, that's always that biggest hurdle, almost always that biggest hurdle. It's almost always the biggest mountain to climb, is that getting started mountain. And once you can do that, it makes it so much follow through becomes so much easier down the road once you've just started. So the question I have for you to ask yourself, the mantra I have for you today is, why not today? Ask yourself, why not today? So often I'll have people say, well, like for instance, if we're talking about, for instance, right now I've got a time management workshop coming up tomorrow, and as I record this, and as you're listening to this, it's coming up tomorrow, and I'm giving people the opportunity to come join that for free. My workshops, they're called accomplished workshops. They take place right in my coaching community these days. And so often I'll get emails from people saying, well, right now I've got this, that, or the other thing, and I'd really love to join. And, maybe next time you offer a workshop, maybe next time I'll come. And my almost always what pops into my head is, those are all good reasons. But why not today? Why not join something that is going to help you enrich your life, help you get a hold of some of these things that keep you in the backseat of life? Why not today? And when I pose that question to people so often, at the end of the day, there isn't a good reason. A lot of times people step back and think for a minute and they say, you know what? Why not today? Why not today? But I do get that. I think it's part of our human wiring is to say, it's to wait till the last minute. And it's to essentially give in to all of the reasons why, all of the arguments, all of the cases we present ourselves with to wait. I think that's just part of how we're wired. But this mantra, why not today, can help you step outside of where we often end up, which again is all those justifiable reasons, and just really set your sights on, you know what, there's not a good, valid reason why not today. It just gives you that opportunity to jump in, seize it, get started, get over that getting started hurdle, and get on with it. And most times, almost always, people come back and say, I am so glad you said that to me. I don't know what I was waiting for. I'm so glad you called me out on it, though. So this is me calling you out today with today's mantra, all for you on this Monday. I cannot wait to hear. I always love hearing about how these mantras help. So feel free to leave a comment here on the podcast, wherever you're listening. Feel free to shoot me an email anytime, Jennifer Roskamp at theintentionalmom.com. You can always find me there. So until we talk again, make it an amazing day.